2, 1.
7 things you probably didn't know you need to know. I'm Jamie East, and this is the Smart 7.
Good morning, everybody. It's Thursday, the 10th of February, and it's Umbrella Day. And a big happy birthday to Holly Willoughby, Greg Norman, Laura Dern, and Keeley Hawes. Another day, another Tory party, but this time there's an actual photo, and we cross live to the House of Commons where Labour MP Fabian Hamilton has a question for Prime Minister Boris Johnson.
A photo has emerged of the Prime Minister in Downing Street on the 15th of December 2020, surrounded by alcohol, food and people wearing tinsel. It looks a lot like one of the Christmas parties he told us never happened. So for the sake of my constituent and the sacrifices she made, will the Prime Minister be referring this party to the police, as it's not one of the ones already being investigated?
Interesting. The photo's clearly circulating on the internet, and it clearly depicts work tinsel and the Prime Minister. How on earth will Boris handle this one?
But in what he has just said, I'm afraid he is completely in error.
The Met Police is now reviewing its decision not to investigate the number 10 quiz, which appears to be what the photo depicts. They've also advised that up to 50 people will receive a questionnaire about lockdown breaches in Downing Street. There were 68,214 new cases of COVID-19 yesterday and 276 additional deaths announced. But in the House of Commons, Boris had a surprise announcement.
Provided the current encouraging trends in the data continue, it is my expectation that we will be able to end the last domestic restrictions, including the legal requirement to self-isolate if you test positive, a full month early, Mr. Speaker.
Ending isolation rules for positive cases is a dramatic change, even as part of a living with COVID strategy, and it's understood the rules will be replaced with guidance. But with no sign of Chris Whitty or Professor Van Tam, it's not clear what the scientific basis for the lifting of restrictions might be. Professor of Immunology Mark Woolhouse told Sky News that it's a mistake to think that the pandemic is over.
We can't know when the next variant will come, and nor can we know the properties that it will have, whether it be more pathogenic, as the Delta was, or more transmissible, as Omicron was, but perhaps more mild as well. We simply can't tell that. So one of the things that has to be built into the public health planning going forward for the whole of the UK is flexibility.
There's a faint sense of optimism that the tension between Russia and Ukraine may not spill over into actual conflict. However, Russia's about to start 10 days of military drills with Belarus, which the White House has called an escalatory action. Russia's ambassador to the EU has signalled that there's still room for diplomacy, and Ukraine's ambassador to the UK, Vadim Pisteko, also sounded positive about the prospects for a peaceful resolution when he spoke to Sky News.
We are not there yet, and it can be avoided quite easily. And he is still raising the sort of hand in the diplomatic negotiations. We hope that it can be right now at this particular moment of history. We don't have to fight, but we don't know whether they will be satisfied with what Ukrainian society can offer as a compromise if it's not too high for him.
In the United States, Florida Governor Ron DeSantis is trying to introduce a new bill for schools that's been christened the Don't Say Gay Bill. The intention is to ban discussion of gender or sexual identity in schools. It's already passed the first of 3 Florida Senate committees, but it's also attracted criticism from Joe Biden, who described it as hateful. Transportation Secretary Pete Buttigieg, the first openly gay cabinet secretary in US politics, says these kind of bills do more harm than good.
It tells youth who are different or whose families are different that there's something wrong with them out of the gate. And I do think that contributes to the shocking levels of suicidal thoughts and suicide attempts among LGBTQ youth. You know, Chasten, my husband, pointed out that if our kids someday, Monday morning, come into class and are sitting around, the teacher's got the morning circle talking about how everybody's weekends went, and one of them says, I had the best weekend with my dad's. Is a teacher supposed to say, no, we don't talk about that here?
Still to come on the Smart 7, the Toy Story spin-off you didn't know you wanted, and Wayne Rooney faces his demons. Right after this. Welcome back. 3,
There were 4 games in the Premier League last night. Man City beat Brentford 2-0, Aston Villa drew 3-3 with Leeds, Spurs lost 2-3 to Southampton and Norwich drew 1-1 with Crystal Palace. There's a new Amazon documentary about to drop called Rooney, and ahead of its release, Derby County manager and former England and Man U striker Wayne Rooney spoke to BBC Breakfast about some very dark times. He describes the struggles he's had with drinking and mental health, and he was pretty clear about how serious it was when asked what his greatest fear was at that time.
With death. As I said before, you make mistakes, which I did, and that could have been girls, it could have been drink driving, which I'd done, it could have been killing someone, you could kill yourself, and that's a bad place to be. So I knew I needed help, I knew I had to get that help, and to save myself, but also to save my family.
King Richard was one of the surprise hits of the Oscar nominations. The movie tells the story of Richard Williams and his drive to get his daughters to the top of the tennis world. Will Smith has picked up 2 nominations for starring and producing, and the movie collected 5 in total. Serena Williams, who's also an exec producer, is loving the response to the story of her and sister Venus.
To see all the feedback and to see everything, it gives you chills in a way. It's so good to see, a black man on film, with their story being told in the right way. And, so many years and decades, my dad's story has been told through the lens of someone that's white, probably, and just what they thought. And, now we get to see what the truth.
If you're tired of rewatching Toy Story, then we've got some good news for you. There's a new movie in the Toy Story universe, sort of. Buzz Lightyear has a spin-off called Lightyear that traces the origins of Andy's Space Ranger. It stars Chris Evans as a young Lightyear sent on a dangerous mission, and it hits cinemas in June.
Buzz Lightyear mission log. After a full year of being marooned on this planet, our first test flight is a go. Let's get everyone home.
Good luck, Captain. Well, I'm counting on you!
Roger that.
This has been The Smart 7. Wherever you're listening, do us a favour and hit the follow button. We'll be back tomorrow at 7 a.m. Have a great day.
Written, produced and published by Daft Doris.